People say the most ridiculous things. They believe the most ridiculous things. In the UFO world, I don't want to go too far apart, but in the UFO world, what they say is totally ridiculous. Useful? No. Beneficial? No. Helpful? No. So why is it all the money being spent on it? I just want to know. If you want to know the truth is when you learn the truth, you have to be active and be aware and do what you're supposed to be doing. So there's a learning that goes on within soul. Learning about aliens abducting people or feeding them turkey dinners on a spaceship. What's that have to do with reality? Now, the desire to learn about the moon, Mars, what's going on there, do you think they want to tell anybody on planet Earth? Do you think the multi-billionaires found out we have life living on Mars? How many of them really want to go? Probably a lot. The same as a lot of people want to live underground. If you don't get to see the sun, you don't get to see light. Real light. Synthetic light is not the same. The same as vitamins are not the same as food. So when you replace reality with synthetic hologram programming, you're not learning much at all. I mean, I just listened to Stephen Greer. He put a 2-hour video. He's in Britain, London. What he said, what he showed. He showed some pictures, some cool pictures, but how real are some of them, and what are they really? I mean, people could take a picture of a cloud and it looks just like themselves. Or it could look like Superman, it could look like whatever perception of Jesus, it could look at like their mother. So that means their mother came down to this world as a cloud? For what reason? Hi son, I'm a cloud, just saying hi. Really? Does that float your boat? You know, people don't want to take responsibility. That's why mankind created forgiveness. When you think you can be forgiven for something you do, and somebody has to forgive you for doing it, you're living in a delusionary state. You got to do it. You got to work it off. If you kill somebody, you not only killed the person you killed the families that could have came from that, which could have created a whole new scenario of race of people. So simple actions, or it was just this, or it was just that, change reality of the whole world that we live in, and it affects us greatly. So every wrong action, are we supposed to say, I agree with them, or accept what they do? Again, if you do, you're a fool. People don't know what they do or why they do what they do, and they don't care in most cases. You know, and I keep talking to people and I say, well, you know, one of the worst things that can happen to a person is to get angry. Why? Because it pulls you right out of the light, and you can't see. So all the murders and all the serious crimes and things that happen in like a minute, 2 minutes time is because they stepped out of the light. Even they don't know they're in the light. The light shines on everybody. But it's like saying, oh, I turn the light in my house, and anybody walks into that house, they will see the light. But does it mean anything to most of those people? No, it's just a light in the house. But the light of spirit is totally different. If you stay in tune with that, if you listen, you can always make the right movement. Whatever it is, in a serious situation, in a car driving or a scenario of like trying to save somebody, whatever it is, if you listen, you can make the right moves. If you don't make the right moves. Now, people want to say predestined. Well, in a scenario, God itself knows what man's doing. Here's the greatest scenario. If God knows mankind's going to destroy the planet in say, a billion years or 5,000 years from now, What's it decide? Well, let them destroy it in 5,000 years, or just destroy the world now and start over. A scenario, another one. I had a Tibetan teacher who said one of his teachers was talking about he had 25 students, and he says, I'm leaving for 2 months. All right. And I want you to be doing this when I come back. So the teacher left his students, and the first thing he said, oh, wow, let's party. And the partying led to more partying. So when the teacher came back, he says, you know, I gave you something to do. Rather than let you go up this whole life to work out what you were supposed to do right now, I'm just going to kill you all, and then you can start over. And he did. So, but see, again, the scenario is we think we can do whatever we want and get away with it, and somebody else has to forgive us. Every action creates a reaction, good or bad. And there is a good and there is a bad. If everybody took a match or a lighter and set their house on fire, the world would burn up. So there is a right action and a wrong action. And as we move in this spiritual place, which we all say we want to be or we are there, what are we doing really? Well, what do you do? What do you do that's spiritual? Now, the idea of meditation, and I talked to you about it a couple times, but in meditation, I went to a path that said you have to meditate for 20 minutes or a half hour every day. Shab Yoga says you have to meditate for 2 hours every day. You have to fast on Fridays. All these little things. I didn't talk about Hawaii. We'll get to that at the end if I have time. It's not as important as what I'm trying to talk about. When we deal with these things, and each one of us has to relate to it. Who are we relating to? Ourselves. Not the experience. Not somebody else's ideas. We each are or could be an incredible being, incredible aware soul. But as long as we think with mind, again, I gave the technique how to determine mind from soul, and they are separate thoughts that come into the brain. One comes out of it, one goes into it. The mind doesn't have to listen to the soul, and it usually doesn't. So that's why there's so many wrong actions rather than right actions. Because the mind has this program going on, just like your computer does. Everything you program in that computer is in that mind. So you say, well, you're all wrong. It's going to say no. All these say it is. And usually they'll follow that. When you can override that is when you're aware of soul. And soul can use the body in a good way. So in a violent crime situation, you get angry. You don't see the light. You don't see the truth. You can't make the right movement in that. And something's going to happen. And that thing that's going to happen usually is not a good thing. When people get out, there's a garbage can behind a car, or somebody's trying to steal their garbage can over stupid things, and somebody else comes out and starts fighting, and they shoot them or beat them up, whatever. Do you think with common sense, the mind says, well, he's stealing, he's bad, we can do whatever we want to him? Soul says, no, you can't. Everybody keeps going to me and asking me this question. If you're spiritual, and somebody breaks into your house, and say, to make it really bad, they're going to shoot your wife or your child, and you got a gun in your hand, do you shoot them? Self-defense is okay, right? Well, it goes against what Jesus taught. But if you don't care about that, you still have to say, well, What's better, me shooting them or them shooting us? Well, obviously you're going to say shooting them is much better. Well, when Jesus talked about bringing his family with him, no, he didn't. He said, leave your family. When we talk about you come here for yourself, you're here for yourself no matter what you think or say or what you want to believe. You're here to grow and learn what you are as soul so you can leave. 7.4 billion people, the most populated planet in, 3,000 years. And we're much more ignorant now than we were in the beginning. So you think we could have learned something? When we say we learn by experience, you learn not to come back. Well, that's what you should be learning, not to come back. You want to save people? You don't have the right to. Everybody has the right to move in their own space. So why do people think? I'm speaking to people that are ready and want to move forward, that are aware enough to move forward. Not people that want to stay underneath a rock and stay there forever. That's their choice. But obviously, they won't listen to me. So come on, oh, he's ridiculous, I'm leaving. Because it's not their programmed ideas what they want to hear. People want to hear happy things in their own way. Oh, if you do this, you'll be happy. You'll become who you're supposed to be. You'll get what you want. That's all people want to hear. They don't want to hear you're not going to make it to heaven. You got too much karma to work out. But if you start now, you won't have to have that many lifetimes. Oh, that's ridiculous. I don't want to go there. I'm just going to go to heal and get healed. People want any scenario not to go through the pain. And I know what people do when they have to deal with pain. They have to deal with it. It's not fun. But the old saying, and I say it all the time, no pain, no gain. You don't learn much if you're not going through some kind of experience. And if you're happy, you're not looking forward to anything outside of that experience that you're in. So are you learning? If you're on the Caribbean island, sitting by the ocean, are you learning anything? If you let go of that and go with inside yourself, you can. But if you're holding on, oh, the water's so beautiful, look at the sky, look at the trees, and you stay there, you're here on planet Earth. Soul doesn't have the chance to become what it is or understand it. When I touch the water, I close my eyes and let soul experience it. Because now you're free. I mean, it's hard for me, even though I'm so close to the ocean. I just found a way where I can get closer to it. It's super dangerous, but I can get to the water a lot easier. To make sure no waves are coming and knock me down and kill me. So again, it's complicated. But if you have the ability to go into a lake or stream, river, whatever, and let it wash away what you think and all your thoughts, and then allow new energy to come into your body, and it's a refreshing thing. Yeah, it's called cleansing the body of energy. And we need to do that once in a while. I mean, you could do it in the shower. I mean, that's the way most people have to do it, if they knew what they were doing. Or I feel good when I came out of the shower. Why? I washed all the dirt off? You're that dirty? Take another shower. Are you more spiritual now? We create stupid scenarios for ourselves to live in and believe. Now, back to family. If you believe you're here for your family, you'll reincarnate here for your family, not for yourself. And so it will never move forward. If you make a commitment to stay here, you're making a commitment to souls that are here, not to spirit, not to God. Not to your higher self-awareness, whatever, however you want to deal with it. People deal with it and make so many scenarios of the way they want to deal with it. So, wherever you, in all this, with the idea of this world, I've been involved with, it's coming up on the hour. I'm just going to end it and just put a little music on for a little bit, and then we'll get back. But the UFO world has been part of my life. Did I want it to be? No. It became part of my life. There's always reasons why things are pushed into your reality. It makes you grow, makes you think, makes you see things greater if you're willing to look harder. Look around you. What do you see?